This show, I'm your host, Dr. Brian Artis, and I'm here with Esquire and Dr. Simone Gold. Say hi to the audience.
Good to be here.
Now you, Dr. Simone Gold, are the head of AFLDS.org, AmericanFrontlineDoctors.org, and I personally, on behalf of all Americans and around the world, all those you're trying to save and stand for, I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
And that we love you for what you're standing for. I have 5 kids, some that are of the ages of people in the military right now who are being threatened with these mandates for vaccines. You just released just a few critical pieces of information about an injunction or a lawsuit you just filed, I believe, today. Can you please just tell us what we learned about the actual individuals in the military at Fort Hood, what has happened to a pilot and 2 individuals in the military who were both young, all 3 young, healthy. What's happened since they received the shots within 48 hours?
AmericasFrontlineDoctors.org, we filed a preliminary injunction in Colorado in federal district court to request the judge to order the Department of Defense to stop mandatory inoculations. We're doing this based on the fact that these mandatory inoculations are causing great harm to a large number of people, especially in the younger, healthier population. The risk of death and other adverse event greatly exceeds the risk posed by the virus itself. We doctors know that. There's a lot of science to support it. Again, especially in the young, healthy population, there is no science to support this. Specifically, within this preliminary injunction and amended complaint that we filed, there is affidavits by 4 military doctors, scientists, outlining the harms that they see, and they don't believe it's safe for the military to proceed in normal working fashion while getting the shots. One of the doctors attested to the fact that a helicopter pilot died 48 hours after taking the shot, and 2 other soldiers are currently in the ICU in Fort Hood. Now, you can't just dismiss this. These are young, healthy soldiers who regularly undergo health examinations. They're healthy to begin with, and then before they go on flights, they get another health assessment. You don't just suddenly drop dead 2 days later. A lot of people want to say, well, we don't know if they're related. And I ask you from a common sense perspective, does that make sense to you that a young, healthy soldier, completely fit, who just had a health assessment, should die suddenly 48 hours after the shot? And he's not the only one. That's just the one I happen to be mentioning. I can tell you, as an experienced emergency physician for more than 20 years, this is very, very unusual, just to back up your common sense.
I was going to ask you, is myocarditis common in young 20, 21, 22, 23-year-old males and females?
Myocarditis is exceedingly uncommon in young, healthy people. Exceedingly, I don't believe I've ever seen a case of myocarditis in a young person in my entire career, working full-time as an emergency physician for more than 20 years. It's exceedingly uncommon.
And that is one of the things that's now a black box warning, I believe.
Yes, so myocarditis and pericarditis are now being seen regularly in the young, healthy population, especially young males. This is like no question that it's seen. What is myocarditis? It's an inflammation of the heart. And there are people who say that this is no big deal. I'm here to tell you that myocarditis and pericarditis are associated with very high levels of morbidity and mortality within about 5 years. The death rate is about 30 or 35% within about 5 years. I might be a little bit off on the numbers, but it's very, very substantial. Even in the best of circumstances, if you've had myocarditis, you have to undergo, like every few months, checkups. You have to be on heart medicines for a while. You have to have EKGs. You certainly are not going to be able to be an active member of the military, so if that was your career choice, that's over. So there's tremendous harms associated. And on the benefit side, there's no benefit. You're not going to get critically ill from SARS-CoV-2 if you're a young, healthy soldier. There is no benefit. You can't be giving drugs to young, healthy people when there's no benefit.
And you've actually been a physician for over 20 years. I would like to ask you, because a lot of people are going to think you're some kind of anti-vaxxer, did you support vaccines over the last 20 years, at least some of the vaccines that have been in use in medicine over the last 20 years?
I'm so glad you asked that, because I forget to say that. Let me be super clear. It's a pejorative, a slur, an insult to just call someone an anti-vaxxer as though that's some dark, nefarious category. Most people who are quote-unquote fitting into that category were people who got vaccines and then got injured, right? So that's the category. I happen to not be in that category. because it wasn't my issue. So all of my life, I had been fully vaccinated. As an emergency physician, I had to undergo annual influenza shots. I had those. My children were fully vaccinated. I had no dog in this fight. So to slam me, CNN actually asked me this question, and I said exactly that, which is I've been fully vaccinated, my children have been vaccinated, I'd never had a public position on vaccine, and by the way, I still have no public position on vaccines. We're talking about these COVID shots that do not work like vaccines. It's a sleight of hand. It's a name switch. A vaccine should stop transmission of the thing. When the Pfizer and Moderna applications were put forth, they weren't even put forth to stop transmission of the virus. They were only put forth to reduce the symptoms of the virus. So I don't even think it's a vaccine fight, quite frankly, because I don't think it's a vaccine. So I have no if anything, I guess you put me in the pro-vaccine camp, but I really have no position on it, and in my personal life, I've taken all shots.
This is one thing I wanted to make very clear to anybody watching this, is that you, one of the leaders on the front lines to actually educate and try to save as many lives as possible, that you have been vaccinated and followed vaccine schedules, but there is something about this one that has made you very concerned and very upset, and you are actually going out and filing lawsuits to try to protect as many people as possible against the harms of this one.
Let me share one thing that I think is so critical. When I say that this isn't a vaccine, the common understanding of the word vaccine is to stop transmission between people. That's why you do something like a vaccine, right? So the original application, which I just alluded to, that Moderna and Pfizer filed with the FDA back in the latest version was December 2020, specifically states that it does not stop the transmission of the SARS-CoV-2 virus, but it reduced symptoms from moderate to mild. That's it. Did not stop transmission, did not stop death, did not reduce hospitalization. If that's not bad enough, the reason that's bad is because if you're only kind of symptom reducing, but you're giving it to everybody all over the planet, you will select for those variants that are resistant to that kind of treatment, because it's more like a treatment. These shots are more like a treatment. So that's exactly what we've seen. So the widespread vaccination has led to the widespread emergence of variants. So the original variant, the Wuhan variant, no longer exists. Don't have to take my word for it. This is per the CDC director. She has said that the Delta virus variant, the original variant is gone. The Delta variant is like 99.8% of the variant that's out there. And then she also said that the shots don't work to stop transmission of the Delta variant. Let me be super clear for the fact checkers. CDC Director Rochelle Walensky stated, and it's on the cdc.gov website, that the only variant that's out there in America is the Delta variant. She then said that the Delta variant cannot be stopped by these shots.
So why keep mandating them and push them in anybody?
Our position, America's Frontline Doctors, is that you cannot mandate something that's personal treatment only, right? They're acting as though this is for the public health, and that's why you can do it. But when the CDC director herself says that it does not stop transmission, how can you claim this is a public health measure?
How can you mandate it to give it to any children or military personnel that are defending our country? I don't understand that. Now, I do want to make you aware, Simone Gold, Dr. Simone Gold, Esquire Simone Gold. I just want you to know Thomas Renz has become a great friend of mine. Mm-hmm. And last night we were in the car together, and there was a injunction filed on July 19th, 2021 in the District of Alabama, northern part of Alabama, against the EUA, emergency use authorization of the COVID-19 shots, based on a whistleblower coming forward from the CMS.com or .gov's database information about deaths inside those databases after 3 days post-shots. I actually disclosed to Thomas Renz more information from the October FDA document that actually has more implications, and he's so excited to share that with you and everyone else. He was up at 4 o'clock this morning. I told him about it last night. I said I had to bring this to your attention. Yes. He is thrilled, and I cannot wait to see what additional data we get to actually help us in this fight.
We need, and if anyone's listening, if you're in a position to be a whistleblower, you're working for the government, the CDC, Medicare, Medicaid, you're a nurse or doctor in a hospital, you're seeing things that you think are wrong, really, come send an email to aflds.org and we'll hook you up.
Yeah, so Dr. Simone Gold, please tell the audience how they can donate, help support, because it takes money and it takes effort to be able to drive all these lawsuits, file them all, and try to protect as many as possible.
Thank you. So please go to americasfrontlinedoctors.org, or the acronym AFLDS.org, AmericaFrankLDS.org. And please, we make all of our content free to everybody, but of course things do cost money. There's a ton of information. We have news, we have legal news. We also have access to the life-saving medication. You can go to aflds.org/meds and arrange a telemedicine consultation where you can obtain ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine or budesonide or any kind of medicine that you need so that you're not living in fear should you get this thing. So we hope you become a member. We hope you become a paying monthly member, but certainly just become a member.
Thank you very much, Dr. Simone Gold, for all you're doing and everything you're doing with AFLDS.org
Thank you.
for us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.